Hi, so welcome back to my channel. Son just dropped this, and this is one of the YouTubers that I've been watching for a minute now, just because his content is somewhat relatable to me. Some of it is, some of it isn't. It is dependable, but I feel like I can talk. I can also talk on a lot of stuff that he's speaking about. But I haven't watched this. Let's get into it. I'm gonna tell you what it is and what I agree with, what I think about the stuff that he's saying, etc., etc. These are the type of videos I low key want to make, or what my channel was supposed to be when I first started it. And then I got into music. I'm gonna say that every time I make one of these videos. Um, I have said I was gonna make another channel for this. I still yet to do so, but um, when I do, it'll happen. I'm gonna stop talking about it, and when I do it, it'll just happen. But the title is I've been taking mental hiatuses my whole life, and now everything feels so strange. Got 50 likes, 9.41K subscribers, 249 views. And if you rock with anything that I'm saying in this or anything that he's saying, please comment down below and let me know that you feel the same way or you have the same type of thoughts. Um, you know, I'd love to see that. But let's get into it.
Never secure enough to just live my life. That's why I never really like doing shit. Or I never felt like I could get enjoy.
For me, right off the bat, doing shit equals taking away. Sometimes doing shit feels like you're taking away from your future self. And that's one of the things that stops me from doing stuff and wants me to focus on that grind, grind, and grind. Do you feel me? But
Enjoyment out of being around people and having that human experience, because my parents would always I was very sheltered, I whenever I wanted to be with my friends that I did kind of have at the time. I'm not even sure if they were friends, but whenever I wanted to do things, my dad would literally be like, who they parents are. But eventually I was just
see, I had the opposite growing up. Like my brother had a lot of friends on the block, and so by association, I was with them a lot. Like on the block, they would play basketball, but I was never all that good at basketball. Plus, I was younger, so it was like sometimes I didn't play because I was just scared, like I was not gonna be able to be as good as them because they were all older than me. You feel me? Um, so I would kind of sit to the sidelines. I would play in the like different games like tag and shit like that, but I don't know. I just always rather be in my own space. So even when I was doing all of that, like even nowadays, like even as I got older and like I met different people or whatever, and I it's not that I don't like people. I do, but only in like short, small amounts. You feel me? I'm like the stereotypical definition of an introvert. Like I can only be around high energy and a lot of people for a short amount of time, and only if I like enjoy the company of those people. Because once it wears out, I just don't want to be around them anymore, and I want to leave. And I become people would think I'm rude because I'll just walk away or I'll sit there and say nothing, and like you'll think I'm not even there.
just like, you know what, I don't even want to go no more. I'll just sit here and play my game over the weekend. And years of just playing my game over the
That's why I rather the online shit. You feel me? You could turn on and off when you want to interact with it or interact with people. Or you could choose like what you want to post for real. Like you feel me? Um, yeah, it's just it allows you to control the playground. You feel me? Whether you want to be in there or not. If you don't feel like it, you don't have to. Which should just be life in general. If you don't feel like doing anything or being around certain people, you shouldn't force it. You should never force that. But um, a lot of situations and sometimes peer pressure make you feel like you gotta be like everyone else or you gotta be part of the mix, and you don't.
weekend turned into me basically living my life over the internet. And if you think about it, we have lived our life over the internet for such a long time. It's ridiculous. A lot of my friendships and a lot of people that I knew back then came from social media, man, and that in itself wasn't even real. I got really into
Right. I remember having one person who I talked to, um, just over a game, son. Just cause I let him have my account for a game. It was this Naruto game, like online, and I didn't want to play anymore, or like I was feeling like I didn't have time for it because summer was over. I was going back to school. I gave him my account because I didn't want to just leave it there and have no one use it. So I was like, you know what, which is probably something you should never do, never give someone your account. But I was like, I had it hooked up to a dummy email anyway, like an email that I just created for games specifically, so I didn't really care too much about it. Um, and we low key stayed in contact over the years. I bet you if I hit him up right now, he would be like, "Yo, what's good? How you doing?" Like, "Oh, I'm doing good." Blah blah blah, shit like that. I don't really talk to him often, but we like throughout high school, he would hit me up randomly, and I'd be like, "Bro, I'm good. How you doing?" Like blah blah blah. You low key be getting game friends sometimes if you really like, if you really want to, if you're open to it. Like these will be your friends just off the strength of the fact that y'all played a game together.
gaming, man. Like when Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 came out,
I
that was
went,
around the time like I
I
was
was
just
heavy
like
on Modern Warfare 3. I'm not gonna
I
lie
didn't
to you,
leave my room.
but Black Ops is my
Like I would
favorite.
just make
Like
ramen
I just like zombies.
or like
I don't
snacks
even
and
want to
shit
play
and just
online. I
play
just
the
want to play
game.
zombies. To be
And it was
honest,
fun. You don't even know the damage it's doing to you in the long run, like while you're in the moment. But
because
I'm
you
to the
stuck
point
playing
now
it
where like
every
I
single
can't
day.
even I can't really talk to people the way I know I should probably like talk to them, or I can't talk to them as how they perceive me. Or if I do talk to them, they expect what I'm gonna say because I look a certain way. I will literally like if I'm
So they expect you to be a nerd. Is basically what you're saying. Or you, I feel like he's projecting, but I'm assuming that's where he's getting at with this, with what he's saying. Like he's assuming they view him as a nerd, so that he's assuming that they already know what he's about to talk about, which is gaming or some like nerd, hyphenated nerd type stuff, IT, because he's an IT from based on his old videos.
in a conversation, I'll just go along with what they're talking about because I feel like most people like they just wait.
I do the same shit. Like if I'm in a conversation, I'll go for what other people are talking about, and I won't bring up stuff that I fuck with, unless I think it's like helping towards the conversation. Like I won't bring up my job most of the times unless I really think that's the only thing I can talk about. You feel me? Or if like someone's trying to talk to me and that's or they bring it up. You feel me? I'll never bring up anime in a conversation unless I know that the person is gonna talk about anime or they fuck with it. You feel me? Yeah, there's just certain shit I would never bring up in conversation unless I know the person rocks with it. Which is realistically that's how it works. Like it should work. You shouldn't just be talking about shit that someone doesn't care about. But at the same time, you should be free to talk about anything you want. It's like it's hard to navigate sometimes conversation with certain people because sometimes certain people only care about certain things. So if you talk about something, they're not gonna know what the fuck you talking about, and then the convo is just gonna be dead. And you don't want the convo to die. Realistically, most people don't want the convo to die. Even me as an introvert, if I'm talking to someone, even if I don't like them, I'm probably not just gonna dead the convo. Like I still want to have like a stimulating conversation. Like even if I don't like someone, if they're giving me stimulating conversation, I want to talk to them. You feel me? Like I can dislike you, but like your conversation. That's a wild concept, but it's real.
For the other people. They wait for the other person to say something and be finished before they can express the idea that's in their mind before it leaves. It becomes like this kind of like
Tug
competition,
of
like
war.
argument, this passive aggressive, like
And that's not how conversations should be. That's one thing that I look for when I'm talking to someone. If the conversation right off the bat or like somewhere in between feels like we're debating or arguing, that's a situation where I will retreat from the conversation because that's not a conversation, that's a debate, and I don't want to be debating with people unless we're actually having a debate on a certain topic. I'm not debating with niggas. That's not where it's going. And I see a lot of these alpha male and dating people. That's where their conversation goes. As soon as they talk to a woman, they just start debating with her. Like, why can't you just have a regular conversation, like a nice conversation about something that y'all mutually agree on, or even if y'all don't agree on it, everything doesn't have to be a debate. Y'all can still have a regular conversation without it sounding like it's a debate. You feel me? Like, why do you have to argue your side so strongly? Unless you strongly believe, like, you that strongly believe in it. But, like, every conversation does not have to devolve into a debate. You feel me? Like, it's just not, that's energy consuming, and I don't like my energy being drained. All of them niggas who do that online, they're energy vampires for real. Like,
Like interaction between two people that I notice a lot in my life. At least from where I'm from, the type of people that I was raised around, like there was never really conversation. It was just a bunch of I'm gonna express how I feel about this particular subject to you. And if you don't like it or agree, I'm not gonna be listening to you anyway. So let me just keep talking. And growing up and knowing that, it's like, what's the fucking point of talking to people if they're not gonna really hear you? I've been taking mental hiatuses
exactly.
my whole life. Um, I
Exactly. You should talk to be understood. Like, that's the one thing that's important in a conversation, I feel like. Comprehension. If you can't comprehend a word coming out of my mouth, why am I talking to you? If I can't comprehend a word coming out of your mouth, I need to go educate myself because I feel stupid. I want to learn. When I talk to someone, I want to learn. I want to learn about you. I want to learn about how you think. And I want to learn, why do you talk about the things that you talk about? What's your life experiences like? You hear me? What got you to this point of, you know, wanting to do what you want to do, or being the way you are? What made that your passion? You feel me? Like, I don't know, shit like that.
have for real. Like I'll get in these spells where I just don't do anything but vanish from the world. Um,
Same.
Pretty much until I was like
Same.
13, I didn't even think I existed. And no, I'm not schizophrenic.
Because I doesn't exist. You don't exist. No one exists. For, like, if my thought process of it is like, the physical eye, like the eye, you should take that out of your vocabulary. Everyone is so similar. We're so similar, so unique, so different at the same time. I know it's right now what I'm saying doesn't really make sense, but if you think about it, like, even if you go back to religions, they say, God is in all of us. We were created in the image of God. If we were created in the image of God, then aren't we God? Some people would say that, but that's blasphemous to say. We are created in the likeness of God. Who else is created in the likeness of God? Jesus is God in the flesh, as Christians would probably tell you. Aren't we in the flesh? And we're made in his image. Um, but it's like we're all connected at the same time. Even though we're all different, we're all connected. A lot of us want the same things. A lot of us are just we're just so similar. Some of us so similar. Some of us even look alike. You know what I mean? Even though we're got different parents, come from different backgrounds, blah blah blah. You feel me? At the end of the day, there's no I, because there's not a lot that you can do by yourself. You can get a lot more done when you work together as a team with multiple people. And even in life, when you come together with a partner, it's no longer about you. And when you have a child, it's no longer about you. It was never about you to begin with. So, you know what I mean? It's about what you do. It's never about you. Life isn't even about you. You know, people be saying this main character energy. This shit is not about you. It's about what you do. It's about who you become. It's about your story. It's not about you, for real. It's not about I. But I don't know. I might not be making sense, but that's how I view it. You feel me? To some people, what I just said is just a entire like contradiction, because it kind of is. But that's how I view shit sometimes.
I'm not like I don't have a mental disorder, but
And I didn't really think or go back and break that down. That's just all of that was just off the top of my head for real.
Truly believe like the only world that existed was like external to what I saw. All it was video games, going to like the Boys and Girls Club, the YMCA, seeing the people that I kind of liked at those facilities while my parents were working. My dad would get me on a weekend. I would play the game over the weekend at his
See,
house.
I had a different type of. He's talking about his life. His lifestyle was basically like the only thing that was real to him was everything that he was seeing, basically. Whereas when I was in elementary school, I had the idea that only I was real. Like only I could like I was nihilistic and I was um self-centered, I guess, or like I had the thought process that I could only believe, I could only know that I exist, which is some philosopher's theory, which is crazy that I was thinking that in elementary school before I even knew of said philosopher. Um but yeah, I was based, my thought process was based on nihilism, basically. I didn't even know what that word was at the time. But I thought everyone else, I couldn't prove it, but like I was like, I can't prove that anyone else is real. They could all be robots, and therefore I can only prove that I'm real. So I should really only care about me and focus on what I gotta do. And I mean, of course that thought process didn't last long because I do care about other people. Like I'm not an asshole, but um it's a good thought process if you want to really be self-absorbed and focused on yourself, and it might lead to success in certain areas because sometimes when you step on people, it gets you higher, but it's not a good way to live life. It's better to have a team that actually cares about you than to step on people's backs and be focused on your journey and not the don't not care about the people around you. But
House. I would live with my mom during the weekday, go to school, get yelled at, eat good food. Like, I guess I had a normal childhood, but it just felt strangely reserved, if that makes sense. I felt like I didn't really get the full experience of like being a kid and being interactive with other kids. And like I said, eventually you get to a point where you just don't know how to talk to people because you've been isolated from the world in a sense, and this can start to weigh on you. You start to feel like something's wrong with you because obviously if you haven't developed the social skills necessary.
that's weird because like I relate, but I don't at the same time. Cause like personally for me, I feel like I can talk to anyone, but sometimes like sometimes you can't, with certain people you can't keep the conversation going, and I don't think there's a problem with that necessarily. Like certain people you're just not gonna like click with. Um, but like yeah, I guess I'm half and half. Like I feel like I can communicate, but at the same time, sometimes I can't. And it just depends on the situation and how I'm feeling and like the vibe.
To keep up like interesting conversation with people that may not be as intellectually challenging, that in itself can become the challenge. And I'm not saying that I'm intellectually challenging. Like, there's plenty of people who watch these videos probably, and you're just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Once you spend a lot of time alone, like you start taking these mental vacations in your head.
See, I think the people who are like you will get you. You feel me? The people, I feel like maybe my girl even says this sometimes. She thinks like I might be a little autistic, and I might be. I might be. Who knows? It might just be that we are on like a small spectrum of autism, and all of these people will get where you're coming from. If you're on a small level of autism or ADHD, and you also have you're also introverted. You feel me? And so there's a lot of people like you. You just don't see them every day in life because there's more of these so-called regular people, or they might not even be regular people. They might be similar to us, but they just pretend and you know, they're able to fit in. You feel me? There's some people who are able to mold to whatever situation they're in. And unfortunately, some of us just can't do that. You know, some people can adapt. They can talk to people like us and we can relate to them. And then they can also go out and be extroverted and stay out forever and talk to all of those, extroverted club people and dance and do this and be the life of the party all the time. Like introverted people can be the life of the party sometimes, but we can't do it all the time. Extroverted people, there's some extroverted people and these people who can shape shift between the two. Um, yeah, it's different.
You get to a point where you spent so much time in your head, you can't think of anything to talk about outside of that. That can start to manifest as a frustration if you don't really have anybody to talk to. There's people in the world that just don't have anybody to talk to at all. And me and my girlfriend are going to see her grandparents over the weekend for a holiday. I'm
Yeah, I used to feel like I could be alone by myself all the time, and I honestly nowadays I'm thinking it's not healthy, but I know I can do it. Like I can do it, and there's nothing that can really change that. But it is nice to have someone who calls you consistently. Like my girl calls me, wants to talk every day. I didn't think there was a person who's like that, who just they can consistently talk every single day. And I'm like, what do we have to talk about? But she can do it. And that's like amazing. But it annoys me at the same time. But when I sit back and really think about it, like that's amazing. Like you're such a person.
I was dreading it at
And I
first,
wish I
but
was
now
like
I'm
that.
just like I'm ready to get it over with, to be honest. Um, I'm ready to embrace the experience itself. I've never done this with nobody before. I've never spent like quality time with another person's family. Part of it is because I know like I'm gonna overthink everything, right? People that spend a lot of time alone.
That was me. That was me. I was an overthinker. I still do, but I'm able to like somewhat push it to the side. Somewhat. I still feel it sometimes. If I enter a room where I don't know nobody, I start getting that like anxiety and sweating. But you feel me? Like for the most part, I'm able to stop like the overthinking and clear my mind for certain stuff. And I think that's just an ability you have to develop because the overthinking, it really like limits you and stops you. It stops you in your tracks from doing stuff because you're just sitting there overthinking
Overthink a
and
lot.
you're not being in the present. That's one thing. That's like a bit like you gotta be in the present because like the overthinking is not. It's just not gonna help you most of the time.
It's just a consequence of just not being around people. You are
You gotta
constantly
use it when it's
worried about what
important.
other people think. Even if you tell yourself you're not, you kind of are, because you're over analyzing the situation and seeing how you can like manipulate the environmental variables that dictate the experience itself. And it's like that becomes tiring, bro. It's
Because sometimes you can't even manipulate it. Like you want to, but you sometimes it doesn't even work in your favor. Because I think that's what a lot of us who overthink try to do. We try to manipulate stuff into our favor. And sometimes you end up like doing the complete opposite and it just doesn't work. And like that whole manipulating in your favor, like you might not even realize that you do that, but it's just not a good thing to do. It should just be genuine. Like you should genuinely get what you want, not have to manipulate. And I hope y'all understand what I'm trying to say with that, but it's just better that way.
very tiring trying to present this shell to the world. Whereas I remember when I was a kid, when I would spend time with other kids, like at the Boys and Girls Club, YMCA school, whatever, I was just authentically myself. It don't matter if I got clown called lame. It don't matter if like I got beat up or some shit. That did not happen to me. I had hands as a kid, but I would look back on it like 3 days later and be like, holy shit, like I actually went through that. Whereas now, if I got into a fight with a random person, I will be thinking, oh my God, did somebody put me on TikTok? Is somebody important gonna see this? Is this gonna ruin opportunities for me in the future? And that's part of the reason why I didn't want to start this YouTube channel, because it was like, okay, what do this look like to a person watching this type of video? There's this dude who DM'd me. He was like, bro, stop over editing your videos. Stop fucking trying to be a try hard with these videos.
I agree with that. I agree, cause me, I don't have the growth that he's seeing, but like that's how I want to see videos nowadays. Like I don't like seeing the over edited, over complicated videos. I like seeing people naturally talk and just be themselves. Like even me, sometimes when I get in front of the camera, I want to be natural and just be myself and not care that the camera is on, although I do care because it's right in front of my face. I wish if I didn't see it, I could just be myself. But I know it's there, so it's not. It's part of me is just not feeling the genuineness. Like I want it to be as genuine and 100% me as I possibly can. Sometimes it's hard to do that. Sometimes it's just so hard to just do that. Like I want it. I want y'all to feel this. Like I don't think y'all understand. Like I want y'all to feel this. Like feel how real it is. Like I'm not a robot, although I probably sound like one. Um, I want y'all to understand, like I'm really saying, like I really will see your comment, like I really will feel that shit. If you comment something negative, if you comment something positive, I will feel that shit. Cause I'm not like these big YouTubers who have hella people on their page and this, that, and the third. And even if I was, I probably still would see your comments because I'm an introvert and I don't talk to a lot of people. So I got when I'm working and doing I just although I am busy, like my phone is right here and I get the notifications. You feel me? So I do see the shit. And even if there was 100 of y'all, I would still see that shit. But with the editing shit, it just makes it feel not genuine. And I want to feel content. I want to see like who this person really is. When you got all that cut and shit, it feels robotic and it feels not real. It feels not genuine. Sometimes.
I like it when you sit there in the car and just talk like how I'm talking now. Sit there in the car and like really
Yeah, these
stretch
are the
your
shits
thoughts out
we
and like
like.
give us a glimpse into what that's like. You
Talk
know what I
about
mean?
your life.
And it didn't really hit me. At first, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I was like, okay, I don't even want to be rich no more, bro. Just give me like a lot of land. Give me like a
Facts. I don't want to be rich. I just want to be good. You know what I mean? I want to be able to move to wherever I want to move to and buy a house. That's it. So I want to have like a house here where I am, and then I want to be able to move to wherever I want to move and cop a house and still live comfortably for me. But that's all I really want. Other than that, all I need is my computer to make content and stocks. You know, I like investing and trading. And that's really all I need. And my girl. And maybe like one or two friends. I don't even need no friends, just my girl, to be honest with you. But like having one or two friends isn't bad. So if I could have that option, throw that in there. And that's really all I need in this life. I really don't need all I need to is to survive, bro. I really don't need anything. Like I don't need this YouTube shit. I don't like this is all shit that I just desire. But like, are my desires valid? Like do I really care about all of that shit or is just living enough for me? Sometimes I feel like just being able to survive is enough for me. Like I really don't need all the extra stimulation. I could live without it for real. I could survive and be fine without all the extraness.
decent place to live. I take that back too. Why is America so obsessed with home ownership? Like it's almost become a religion for us, right? To own something, to have your hand in something. If your goal is to like have generational wealth, create your own domain, that's fine too. But I wonder why we think like that. Like, why are we instilled to just get like a normal job?
Because everyone else has it. If you know, if it wasn't like the norm, the standard, no one would want a home. You feel me? But it's just the fact that you need a roof or we feel like we need a roof over our head. That's why people want homes. But no one needs it. I really don't need it. I just need something to put my head on, lay my head under, something to take a shower, and something to cook and eat food with. For real. Like if you think it like break it down to a basic level, all you probably need is your phone, your computer, somewhere to lay your head and sleep, somewhere to shower, somewhere to eat. You don't need the whole crib. You really don't.
Save up a little money, put a down payment on the house, and like call it a day. There's more to life than that, bro. And I'm going to San Diego uh sometime in mid-January, and I was just thinking like I want to do that for the rest of my life. I want to just travel for the rest of my life, not worry about my bills being paid. I want to be able to like feed my cat and rub my cat. I love my cat, bro. My mom got this old white like six.
I used to have a cat, and I miss it sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Cats are lit. Some people think cat people are crazy. I like cats and dogs personally. Like nice dogs. Dogs be cool, bro. I like dogs because they be they be smiling and huffing and have their tongue out, huffing and puffing, and that should be cute sometimes. I just don't like the shitting part. You feel me? But cats, they take care of themselves, bro. They so like independent, and I just love that aspect of them. And then at the same time, they could be so like caring and loving at the same time. So, some people think they're not, but they really are.
16-year-old cat before I moved out here by myself. And we took care of him for about 4 years until he died. And I don't know, I was going through like a lot of shit at the time. Like I was studying a lot, I was blackout drunk a lot, I was in a toxic relationship. I was still trying to make music and shit. I was just trying to like figure out who the fuck I was as like a 19, 20 year old. And this cat used to always just be there, man. You know, like just look at things that don't really abide by interpersonal ideologies. If it abides by interpersonal ideology, ignore it. In order to make sense of shit, we create interpersonal realities. Things that just live in the objective reality are the things I admire, because it's just like they're out here living their life, bro. Like this squirrel right here I'm watching is, I think he's having sex. Oh my God. My neighbor has a son, and he is he bounces the basketball real late at night. And I don't know if I would feel like a Karen if I went over there and was like, can you tell your son to stop? It's like 12 o'clock at night and I can hear it. I went to go buy earplugs from Walgreens just so I don't have to hear the shit.
Why don't you go over there and play him in ball? And if you win, he gotta stop. If you lose, then he could get to keep doing that.
And I was thinking in my head, like, I pay $1,100 for rent. Why the fuck do I have to buy headphones to have peaceful sleep? And that is my main point when it comes to moving far away, having a bunch of money, and being relatively safe. My whole life, I have been safe. I never saw my mom not be able to pay a light bill. But at the same time, I felt like we were like 4 paychecks away from being homeless a lot. She hit it very well. Mothers tend to like just make, like, they get shit done. I don't know how my mom did half the shit she did for us, but I don't want to have that same like abstract idea in my mind. Like I just want to know that it's
Same,
taken care of,
same.
and that's why I work
My
so
mom
hard.
did the same.
People work hard for different
Still
reasons.
does it.
People get away for different reasons.
It's
People
so
participate
annoying.
in different forms of escapism for different reasons. But my escapism is to escape in itself. Like I ultimately want to be free from everything around me. I don't want to hear a basketball bouncing next door to me. That shit is annoying as fuck. Like everywhere we go,
You know the only way to get this type of freedom that he's talking about? In my head, the first thing that came to my mind is death. When you die, you free from everything. Or at least that's what we think, you know. You go to the afterlife, there might not be nothing there, in which case you're free. Free. Completely free. No dreams, no nothing, not bound by anything. And to me that sounds peaceful. Oh,
it's just loud, bro. Cars, fucking electricity currents. You can't hear that shit. Notifications, fucking lights coming off.
It's metaphorically loud. You feel me? I get what he's. I feel like that's where he's go with that electricity currents, like and then notifications and phones.
People's
It's
phones when
all
they get a
loud.
text message. Did you hear about what so and so did in the news? Did you hear about what Kanye did? Fuck Kanye, bruh.
Okay.
That dude does not put fucking money in my pockets. And whenever somebody's like, "Did you see the new TikTok, bro? Like, did you see this on TikTok?" I'm like, I don't know how to use TikTok. I am 23 years old and I don't even know how to use TikTok. I use TikTok.
And there's nothing wrong with that, bro. Nothing wrong. I like TikTok personally. Um, it is very addicting. I don't think anyone who doesn't have it should get it because you're it'll if you watch enough, you scroll enough, you're going to get addicted most likely. But yeah, no, I think I agree with a lot of his takes. I think I also put a lot of my own thoughts into this. It's a 35, almost 36-minute video. That's crazy. But if you watched all the way to the end, definitely let me know because I feel like most people would not watch all of this. But also, like, if you got any thoughts of your own, anything that you want me to expound on or talk about in the comments, I most definitely will. If you want me to make a second type of video talking about my thought process or my thoughts on a specific topic, let me know in the comments below. Other than that, um, shout out to Felix Escura. I wanna say Felix Sakura because when I see Skura, I just think of Sakura from Street Fighter. But yeah, shout out to you and shout out to your channel because it's growing crazy. And I saw in the comments before I watched this video, I looked in the comments and I saw Berlizzi commented in there. And I've had someone in one of my past videos call me the light skin Berlizzi, the dark skin Berlizzi, I mean. And I don't think I look nothing like the guy, but yeah, I don't have much else to say. But thanks for watching. I'm just talking off the top.